Hello, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me today for another Alfred Hitchcock Presents review. Today I will be talking about Season 5, Episode 7, Dry Run, starring Walter Matthau and Robert Vaughn. And I thought overall this was a solid episode, although I will say I did figure out the twist before the end of the episode, so that was kind of interesting. But, overall I thought this was a well done episode. So the episode starts with Alfred Hitchcock's introduction, as always, and he's looking pretty stylish, I have to say, but then we get to the main part of the episode and we have a group of men talking. We have a boss. Basically, he's like a crime boss type figure. His name is Mr. Barbarossa, and he's talking to a younger gentleman named Art. And he tells Art he thinks he has a chance to go places in the company. He has a chance to move up, but he has a job for him because he basically needs to test him and find out if he can trust him or not. So he gives Art this money to deliver to a man named Moran, but he also wants him to do something else to Moran, and he basically gives him a weapon, a gun, and he wants him to do Moran in as well. He also has some pet piranhas, which is kind of interesting. He says he likes them because they're dependable, but it is kind of important to the theme of the episode by the end. So I thought this opening scene was pretty solid. This whole episode's very well acted, and there is some tension, I do have to say. So at this point we go to the next scene, and Art goes to find this gentleman Moran. Eventually he does, and it seems like a pretty obscure location. Moran immediately has a gun pointed at Art, so it seems like he's already suspicious. It seems like Moran's not that impressed by Art at first, but he kind of warms up to him as time goes by. So Art gives Moran the money he owes him, and then Moran apologizes. He says, "You have to understand, I need to be careful because I don't really trust this Barbarossa guy." So they have a drink and they keep talking, and eventually Moran keeps telling Art that you can't really trust this Barbarossa. He won't, give him everything he says. He basically doesn't seem to think too highly of him or talk too highly of him. So as they continue to talk, eventually he decides that he wants to give Art an opportunity to do in Barbarossa for him. Moran says, I want to take over, I want to be the boss, and you'll be my right-hand man. Now, immediately I'm thinking this is too good to be true. Why would he get this inexperienced guy to take out Barbarossa? I'm thinking this is a test between Barbarossa and Moran, and that's exactly what it wound up being. So I was actually a little disappointed like that. I was hoping they would fool me with the twist, but they didn't. But it's still a well-done, tension-filled scene. So eventually Art, who's very reluctant, agrees to this for $10,000, and the agreement that he'll be the right-hand man. But as soon as he goes to leave to take out Barbarossa, it turns out that this was a test all along. And when he tries to shoot Moran, of course, there's no bullets in the gun that Barbarossa, gave him, because this was all a test between Barbarossa and Moran. So Moran does him in, and that's basically the end of Art. Not the smartest Alfred Hitchcock Presents character ever, and he failed his test, and then we get the closing with Alfred Hitchcock. Typical closing. But I did think this was a solid episode, despite, in my opinion, it being fairly predictable. To be fair, maybe audiences didn't see this coming at the time, or maybe this was just one I got lucky and figured out. I don't know. But it is a well-acted, tension-filled episode, if a little deliberate and dialogue-heavy. But I did enjoy Dry Run, and I recommend it. And I'm going to give this episode a 3.5 out of 5. So a solid episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. As always, thank you very much for watching.